Hi guys, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We're back for another one. This is a team selection video for Double Game Week 34. We'll also quickly recap Game Week 33 as well for those that didn't watch the knee-jerk live reaction stream. How you doing, Jordan?
Yeah, I'm very good. I think it's been a manic week. Just saying to us off stream, it's been crazy. We've been literally streaming every day. But obviously, we do this for you guys. Obviously, it's always appreciated that you guys watch us as well. So yeah, we'll crack on with the team selection for Double Game Week 34.
Yeah, obviously we've been very busy, a lot of streams this week. But yeah, let's get into it. Also, sorry for being slightly late, guys. Obviously, we do usually stream at 7 o'clock. We had to move the stream by about 15. But anyway, without further ado, let's talk about Game Week 33 very quickly. So yeah, Game Week 33 wasn't great. For those that did watch the knee-jerk stream, I'll just quickly recap. Obviously, Ederson, 2 points, blank. He did concede against Arsenal over that goal from Rob Holding. Not much success as well in the back line. Obviously, Newcastle conceded to Everton, so that blank for Botman and Trippier. Estupinian lost 3-1 to Forest, which was a bit of a surprise. He also gave away a penalty, I believe, Estupinian, so it wasn't a great game from him. So it's just 1 point for him. Into the midfield, doesn't really get much better. Grealish did blank in that win against Arsenal for Man City. Rashford, however, did get a goal and an assist for that lovely 12 points. And he's the only one pretty much that got a decent score in the midfield. Salah, 2 points, did blank against West Ham. Mitoma, again, blanked in that loss. Solly March, however, did pick up an assist, which was nice to see from him. And then up front, I do have Haaland, who did score and also got 2 assists in that 4-1 win against Arsenal. So I thought Haaland could have had a lot more, but 28 points as a captain, still very nice. And then Watkins as well did blank in that 1-0 win for Villa. Nothing really to speak about on the bench. That is currently 59 points, but because I took a -8, that is 51 points. And that is a red arrow down to 372k now, which is a fairly significant red arrow this week. But I'm hoping Game Week 34 brings me a lot more success. Let's bring up your team, Jordan. Talk us through, recap your Game Week 33 as well for us.
Okay, so let's start off with Still. Even though Brighton lost 3-1, Still did manage to save a penalty, which gave him 5 points. And on top of that, he had a bonus 3 and the match time played. So he got a double haul of 10 points in that remarkable 3-1 loss. Moving on to the defence, obviously Trippier did concede. I saw an interesting stat the other day of how many blanks Trippier's had in the past few game weeks, and it is incredibly high. But yeah, another blank for Trippier, and Newcastle conceding that 1 goal. Next, we've got Mings, who comes off a 15-pointer. He scored the only goal in the Aston Villa game, and he obviously got the bonus 3 and the clean sheet on top of that as well, which is a nice double haul of 15 points. Moving on to Trent, he did get an assist in that Liverpool game. And no clean sheet for him, but because he got the assist, that got him the 5 points. Moving on to Rashford, obviously he scored and got an assist, and obviously got a bonus 2, and that led him with 12 points. Moving on to De Bruyne, who had a best game, I'll say, of his season, in terms of he scored 2 goals, and he got the bonus 3, and I think he got the
clean sheet point as well.
Yeah, clean sheet point.
Sorry, not clean sheet point. Not clean sheet point. It was bonus 3, and I think he got an assist as well, I think.
Yeah, I think he got, did he get 2 assists?
No, 2 goals.
Oh, 2 goals and 1 assist.
Mm.
But yeah, impressive performance with Kevin De Bruyne, his highest return this season, 19 points. So it was a nice transfer in for him, even though he's flagged. Moving on to Martinelli, obviously he blanked in that 4-1 loss against Man City. Only played the 59 minutes on the pitch and then came off, so he didn't even get the match minutes for the 2nd point, so only gets a 1. Moving on to Mitoma, he did blank in that Brighton loss. Obviously there was 1 goal scorer, but it wasn't Mitoma in that game, and just a 2 points from him. And moving on to the front 3, we've got Isak, who didn't start in that game. He was benched. He only came on for about 16 minutes, He did have an assist at one point, but he got ruled out and taken away from him. So it was
Yeah,
a
that
bit
was
annoying.
amazing. Did you see what
Yeah,
he did in that game?
I didn't see what happened. I just saw his 4 points there, and suddenly it disappeared.
He basically took on like 4 or 5 players. Just you got to watch your back. It was some of the great play. He literally just dribbled past like they wasn't there, and he put it for the back post. And yeah, I don't know why the assist didn't count.
Yeah, that's very annoying. Otherwise, it would have been worthwhile, especially when he played only 16 minutes of that game. Moving on to Haaland, obviously he was the big captain pick, obviously with 2 assists, and he did score a late goal in that game against Arsenal. So he got a 28 pointer with the captaincy over him. So it was a nice return for him. I think he also got the bonus 2 as well. And moving on to Watkins, who comes off of his back-to-back blank. Obviously, Aston Villa did win 1-0, but Watkins did not score the goal in that game. It was only Mings. So, yeah, a back-to-back blank for Watkins, and he has been heavily transferred out ever since that game. So it's quite interesting what FPL managers are doing with Watkins. And obviously on the team bench, we've got Edison, who obviously had a clean sheet wiped for the late goal that Holding scored. McAllister, he got a blank in that Brighton game. Luke Shaw, obviously he conceded 2 goals against Tottenham, and he got the 1 point. And Kilman, surprisingly, got a clean sheet with 6 points behind him. Against Crystal Palace, who would have thought that? But I wasn't going to play Kilman anyway. But after all that, obviously, it's a 338k, massive green arrow, and 97 game week points, and I'm up to 2,105. So it was a quite fortunate and rewarding game week 33.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's quickly move on to double game week 34, and let's see how we're lining up for that game week. Obviously, it is fast upon us. Tomorrow is the deadline. I think it's the 11 a.m. UK deadline. So this is what my team currently looks like. I'll just quickly go through my squad. So I've got Edison in goal, who's got a double against Fulham and West Ham. I've got Ben Chilwell, who has Arsenal away. Now, he's not going to be in my team. I will come on to Ben Chilwell. He will be a transfer out. Luke Shaw, who's got Aston Villa at home and Brighton away. Trippier, who's got Southampton at home. Estupinian, who's got Wolves and Man United, both home games for Brighton there. Grealish has Fulham and West Ham, so some decent games for Man City. Rashford has Aston Villa at home and Brighton away. Salah has Tottenham and Fulham, so it is 2 home games for Salah as well, and Liverpool, so hopefully Salah can bounce back from that blank last week and get me some points. I'm relying on Salah heavily on this one. And then finally, to complete the midfield, Mitoma and March with the Brighton double up. They've got Wolves and Man United, as well as Estupinian. And then finally, up top, I do have Erling Haaland, who has Fulham away and West Ham at home. So I have 2.1 million in the bank. I do also have 1 free transfer, and I think it's an obvious move for me this week. I am taking out Ben Chilwell, as I've mentioned. So he's coming out the team, and I am bringing in Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think that's an easy move because Trent does have much better fixtures than Chilwell. Obviously, he has a double game week against Tottenham at home and then Fulham. So I'm very happy to own Trent, and that's for free. That leaves me with 0.4 in the bank, and that gives me 10 double game week players as well for double game week 34. So I'm very happy to have 10. The only single game week player I have in the team is Trippier against Southampton at home. So I'm very happy with the team, in terms of how it looks. Maybe I could have fitted in another double up, but I don't want to take any hits, to be honest, after taking the -8 last week. So yeah, that is what my team currently looks like. Hopefully a lot more success this week. Coming from a red arrow, I'm hoping to bounce back. And captain is on Haaland, vice captain's on Salah. Now, there is a slight thought that I had to go captain Salah, but it's just too scary to captain against Haaland, because the only reason why I was considering Salah is the fact that I am chasing. Like, you see my rank is at 372k. If I want to break into the top 100k, I'm not going to do it by captaining Haaland, pretty much. So there's not long left now of the season. There's about 6 or 5 game weeks left to go. And the only way I see me getting into the top 100k is if I do something crazy like captain Salah and hoping he outscores Haaland. But I think it's too risky. I'm not willing to go there, because in case we know what Haaland could do and the fixtures are very nice. Look, I am chasing, so I do need to be different. and that's why I did consider Salah captain. Let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Will you be tempting going on a punt with Salah if you are chasing, if you're on a 300k, 400k, even 200k? Because obviously, if you're in the top 10k, top 50k, you may go Haaland and play a bit more safe. So, but look, I'm probably going to go Haaland. It's just too scary to see what he could do against Fulham and West Ham. So that is my team out the way for Double Game Week 34. That gives me 10 doublers. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of the team. Jordan, let's pull up your team, how you're lining up for Game Week 34. Just run us through your team and also your transfer plans as well.
Okay, so starting in goal, this may come as a surprise, but maybe not. I am playing still. I could play Ederson, but because of Ederson's clean sheet record, I'm quite biased for playing him anymore. So I've resulted to Steele, who I think will get at least a clean sheet, whereas Ederson, I don't see one in either of his doubles, which is quite surprising considering it's Man City. But yeah, still has Wolves at home and Man United at home. So 2 home fixtures for the Brighton goalkeeper, and hopefully he stays as the first pick as goalkeeper. Moving on to the back three. So we got Trippier, who has Southampton at home. Obviously, I'm keeping Trippier in the team. He's still highly owned, and he has a great fixture against the struggling Southampton, who are at rock bottom of the table and are struggling to get out of relegation. Moving on to Luke Shaw, he's got Aston Villa and Brighton away. It's a very difficult double, I would say, for Man United, but Shaw does show attacking threat, even if they don't get a clean sheet, maybe Shaw can nick an assist from a goal. Moving on to Trent, he has 2 home fixtures, Tottenham and Fulham both at home. I don't see why Trent can't possibly get a few assists from either of these games. He's shown it in the previous game weeks where he's racking up those assists since he's been playing in that inverted right back position, which is nice to see him playing his new role as it has improved, obviously, his form and statistics. So, yeah, Tottenham have struggled and Fulham have also struggled without Mitrovic. So, it should be a good game for Trent in this double. Moving on to the midfield 5. Starting off with Martinelli, he has Chelsea at home. Obviously, Arsenal has to bounce back from losing 4-1 to Man City and throwing sort of the title swing back into Man City's favour now. And Arsenal do have to hope of winning each game up to the end of the season, hoping Man City at some point drop, which is very doubtful, but that's all that Arsenal have to hope for if they are to win the title. Moving on to De Bruyne, who is still currently flagged. We still have to wait and see with Pep's conference what the situation is with him, but currently he's in my team still, and he's got Fulham away and West Ham at home. And that's a good double for Kevin De Bruyne after coming off of a 19-pointer as well. I think no matter what happens, even if he plays one game from this double, I think I've got the points already from him, so I would just be happy that he's playing at least one fixture. Moving on to Rashford, he's got Aston Villa and Brighton away. Obviously, difficult fixtures for Rashford to score in, but he has that capability as he has most goals for Man United. He is the go-to guy to score them, so he is staying in my team for this double game week. Moving on to Matoma and McAllister, who both have Wolves and Man United at home. Obviously, Brighton have come off of a massive defeat for losing 3-1, but hopefully they could pick it up, especially against Wolves. They seem to, Wolves have shown a bit more form, but Brighton, on the other hand, they need to get going again. Obviously, Zerbi is a very passionate manager, and hopefully he can push the team forward and get the win in possibly the Wolves at home one. Man United one, pretty difficult for Brighton, but I imagine it's going to be a high scoring game, and hopefully Matoma and McAllister are part of that return. And moving on to the front 2, we'll start off with Haaland, who has Fulham away and West Ham at home. Obvious captain pick, coming off of his 28-pointer. I don't think we need to really say much about Haaland. Obviously, we've mentioned how great he's been this season and what a player he is. He's pretty much above everyone else in the Premier League at the moment. He's on another level type of player. And finally, we've got Isak, who has Southampton at home. I am very worried about this because this fixture is so good for Newcastle. I'm worried that Isak potentially could be benched again. and Wilson play instead of him. So I am fingers crossed and hoping that I see Isaac in that starting lineup for this game, because he could have a massive haul in this Southampton at home fixture. It's such a massive game. I could see this being another high scoring game for Newcastle, who have shown they can score really high against teams like struggling Southampton, who are bottom. And obviously Newcastle want to obviously finish strong in that top three. So that's pretty much my starting 11 team. On the bench, I've got Edison. He's got Fulham away, West Ham at home. Watkins, maybe surprises on the bench. He's got Man United away. Hopefully he doesn't punish me like I benched him before, and he did punish me with a 16-pointer. Next, we've got Mings. He's got Man United away. And Kilman, who's got Brighton away. Now, obviously, I have one free transfer. I've got 1 million in the bank. And I've also got another chip active, which you may notice, which is my triple captain. So I have triple captain. That chip is now active, and it's on Haaland. So I am triple captain Haaland for Double Gameweek 34, just so you guys know. So my transfer plans are... So I have thought about this, and I think the obvious pick I could probably go for is Martinelli. Because of that massive loss to Arsenal, it has shown that it's not really necessary now to have Arsenal assets. I mean, they could possibly still score, but because the title swing is switched to Man City now and Arsenal catching behind them, it's sort of like lost the purpose of having really any Arsenal assets. So Martinelli is coming out of my team, and I am going to bring in for him Joel Linton, who has Southampton at home. Now, I did hear someone obviously in the deadline stream, mention to me that why don't I bring in like a Joel Linton or a Jacob Murphy? I really should have listened to you. Sorry if I can't remember your name, but I wish I listened to you on that, because it did pay off. Obviously in the last game that Newcastle played, because Joel Linton did score in it. So I kind of wish I went early on that. But I am decided to bring him in this week just because of that fixture, and because Newcastle do have a double coming up in 36 as well. So it lines me up nicely with that double as well. And obviously with the fixture Newcastle have, there is a potential that Joel Linton can have another great game as well, as he has had back-to-back returns in his previous 2 game weeks. So that is my 1 free transfer. Martinelli out and Joel Linton in. That does leave me 1.8 million in the bank, so a little bit more money because he is cheaper as well. And yeah, that is pretty much my transfer plans going forward into Double Gameweek 34.
Okay, so as Jordan's transfer plans out the way for Double Gameweek 34. If you are just joining into the stream, make sure you do smash the like button if you haven't already, guys. And also, please consider subscribing. We'll take a few of your questions. Ali Mack says, Isak robbed of an assist. Yeah, that was strange. I don't know why it didn't get given. But yeah, what a run from Isak for the goal. Is 8 doublers a good number this week? How many do you have, Jordan? You actually have 8 as well.
Yeah, I have 8 too.
I have 10. But yeah, 8 should be fine if as long as they're good doublers. Evening says Dan. Evening Dan.
Evening
Dan. Captaining Watkins went down well for me, says Dan as well. Yeah, obviously Watkins did blank again. It was a bit unlucky. On the fixture, it looks nice on paper. Fulham, you'd expect a bit more from Aston Villa, but look, they did win. But yeah, that's why it's just so scary going against Haaland, I think. Yeah, there's another more chat about Salah v Haaland. Fadsley says he has thought about it because he is chasing rank around we're all around 300k, and if you are looking to break in the top 100k, this could be the week. Well, Salah has 2 home fixtures. Salah is coming off the back of a blank as well, so maybe puts people off. See Haaland doing well against Arsenal, but we know the risks of going against Haaland. He hasn't really paid off this season when people have gone against Haaland, because I was one of those managers that went against Haaland in game week 9 when Haaland had Man United and he banged in a hat trick and got like 40 points, whatever it was, and I've not really recovered still from that, I think. So it is scary going without Haaland, especially not having the captaincy on him. Pep already had his press conference. Didn't say anything about KDB. Yeah, I think KDB should be fine to play, at least Fulham. The only thing I would say about KDB, he still could miss one of those games, but not through injury. I think due to being rested because of the Champions League, etc., coming up. But that could be the same for Grealish as well. See, there's some more chat about Grealish here. Is Grealish nailed on as UCL is coming and he's playing more wide? So is it worth going from Grealish to KDB and Kane to Isaac? It could be worth it. But I'd still probably keep Grealish and maybe go for a Jota, which ties back to Fadley's comment about Robbo v Jota v Gakpo onto Liverpool now. He's saying he's on Robbo. Chances of him getting rotated. I think Robbo will be fine for both games, if I'm being honest. But if you are chasing, which seems like you are obviously with your comment, I would go with Jota personally. I think Jota is the best third Liverpool asset after Salah, Trent, and Jota, I think. Because obviously Jota is still low owned. A lot of people can't get to Jota because of his price and the way the teams are set up. So I'll take that punt on Jota personally. Robbo is still good. I'd expect Robbo to play with this new system. I don't see Robbo getting rotated much because Tsimikas can't really play as a left centre back because Liverpool do play with a 3 at the back now when they have the ball. So yeah, I think Jota for me is still. If I was taking a punt and I'm chasing, I'm going Jota personally. Mahrez predicted to start 2 out of 3. Short term, he's very good. Yeah, Man City. We just don't know what Pep's going to do we, Jordan? Really?
No. It's impossible to know what Pep's going to do. That's mainly why I went for KDB, because I just know that, especially after his rest in the previous non-competition game, not Premier League, he did rest in that game, so he was ready to play in that Arsenal one, which was obviously a big game for him and Man City.
Even KDB, though, he's also been benched a few times this season when we haven't expected it. So I don't think any player really is safe right now, apart from Ederson and even Haaland. But Haaland, if Man City are winning 2-3-0 and it's half time, Haaland's coming off the pitch. So that's why I did bring Ederson in the first place, because we know Ederson is one of those players that's going to play no matter what. Yeah, but Grealish could get rotated. Obviously, I own Grealish. Jordan owns KDB. So it's going to be interesting to see how many minutes they get. But if you've got Grealish, I wouldn't be selling him or anything like that. I don't think it's worth it. You know, you should at least play one of those games and make and maybe come on after in the second one. Did I miss any other questions? I think I read this one, haven't I? We read this one. Haaland 3 pointers. I think it means about captaincy. I've benched Watkins as well and started Murphy. Good shout on the Haaland triple captain.
Yeah, I think this week, especially after Haaland's performance last game against Arsenal, I think I'm glad I held on to the triple captain, because I know a lot of people used it in the last double that Man City had, and Haaland did he blank in both?
Sorry, what game?
The last double Man City had. Did Haaland only get an assist from that double?
I can't remember. I think something like that. If you want to check, if anyone wants to let us know.
But yeah, I'm glad.
Well, the double game at 29, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, we got a comment, Jota with a back injury. Yeah, Klopp did mention something about Jota's back, but I don't think it's anything serious. So I'd still be tempted to go with Jota, if I'm being honest. If I was to bring in a forward this week, if it's Liverpool, if you've got Salah, I do like Jota. Hi, all play Jota or Tony. Easy. Play Jota. Jota had the double, and it's a nice double, and not many people even own Jota. So if you've got him, yeah, you definitely want to play him. Bojan says starting Solanke or Botman. Also, thank you for subscribing, Bojan. Who are you starting, Jordan? Shall I bring up the fixtures for you?
Yeah, we can bring up the fixtures.
So Newcastle obviously have Southampton, and Bournemouth have Leeds.
Ooh, that is difficult.
Bournemouth are at home.
I would probably say I'd probably start Solanke. I think I'll go with the attacker. I still think Newcastle will somehow find a way to concede to Southampton, but I think Solanke provides that attacking potential. He's less often owned as well. I think he's less owned, and he's a forward. So
as a Botman owner myself, I was so annoyed to see Newcastle concede against Everton with 10 minutes to go, because I would have got probably a small red or even a break even on a green. But yeah, I think I'll start Solanke, the attacker, for that game. If you've already got Trippier, probably just play Solanke. I'm on wildcard 34, and I'm currently on 3 Brighton mids. Haas, you went March, Jordan with McAllister. So what is separating both of you? To be honest, I wildcarded in game week 29 a long time ago now. It feels like a long time ago. And the reason why I went March is because he was cheaper. That's the only reason why. I know McAllister is on penalties and etc. So McAllister probably is a better pick right now. But March has outscored McAllister, I think, in the last few game weeks. March has picked up a couple of assists in certain games. But yeah, literally for the price, I went. What about you, Jordan? You went McAllister obviously over March.
Yeah, I went with him when I did my wildcard picking game week 33. And for the long-term run, obviously, because Brighton have many doubles coming up, including this one, I went with McAllister because Brighton do get a lot of penalties given to them. And obviously, if they do get a penalty in this double, either Wolves or Man United, McAllister is the penalty taker. So that's partly why I went with McAllister, because obviously he's on penalties, but also because he's a great player as well, McAllister. Obviously for Argentina, he's played well. And yeah, I think double Brighton midfield is probably the best 2 to go for, in my opinion.
Do you think Alvarez could get some more minutes now when Champions League games coming up? I do. I do think Alvarez might play actually one of those games against Fulham and West Ham. I can see Alvarez starting one, maybe even starting with Haaland. So both of them playing in the same team. Interesting to go for Alvarez, potentially as a differential. Let me know if anyone is on Alvarez. I do think he could be a fun little differential this game week. McAllister might be back to the 10 if Veltman starts a right back. Yeah, of course. McAllister is a good shout now that obviously they've got some injuries coming back from the team, and he's playing in that further advanced role now, that Lallana role pretty much. But yeah, I think we probably won't stay on this stream for too much longer. I think that's answered most of your questions, guys. We are back again tomorrow. It is the deadline stream, so we'll be back streaming from 10 a.m. UK time. Obviously, it is an 11 a.m. deadline, so we'll go, as always, an hour before the deadline. So make sure you guys are subscribed, so you don't. Make sure you do tune in tomorrow morning. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you drop a like for us. That's all we ask for, guys. It really helps support the channel. And yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Just the last one from Fatality. I went with Mahrez over Grealish as my differential this week. He should start and score a hat-trick in the last FA Cup game. Yeah, I do think Mahrez is a good shout as well, because I do expect some rotation now with Man City, with the games coming thick and fast and Champions League approaching as well. But yeah, that is it from us. Anything else you'd like to add, Jordan? Obviously, deadline stream tomorrow. We'll be back 10 a.m.
Just thank you guys for watching throughout the stream. It's always appreciated, and welcome to the new subscribers to the channel, obviously. And yeah, obviously we'll see you again tomorrow. Feels like we've been streaming consistently for a long time now. So yeah, another stream tomorrow for you guys, and an early one. And yeah, take care. We'll see you in the deadline stream, and hopefully you'll have a nice weekend.
Yep. See you guys, and take care.